review comes courtesy of Maxine Hair. I do have a link to the website as well as links to this hair listed down below. So for this company, I requested Malaysian curly hair. I requested 18, 20, and 22 inch bundles with a 16-inch lace frontal. I couldn't remember. I thought it was a closure. Yeah, it's a lace frontal. And that is what I got. I used most of the hair, but I do have a little bit left I'll show in a minute. But as you can see, it does have a little bit of a color to it. So this video is also a tutorial. I'm going to show you how I got this color. Very subtle, but very nice. I've got some critiques of how I could have made it a little bit better, but I am still new to this coloring situation. But before I jump into the tutorial, this is what the hair looks like originally. Isn't it so pretty? And it's full of sheen and luster. It's not much different now, even though I colored it. I feel like it's not that much different now, even though I did color it. Of course, the waves do, or the curls did kind of fall a little bit, but it's still a little bit wet. But yeah, it's super pretty. This is what it looks like in the natural color. Has some nice bounce to it. Natural dark color. The wefts were super nice. And again, I got 3 bundles on the frontal, and I used 2 full bundles, the frontal, and majority of that 3rd bundle. So yeah, I'm gonna cut to the clip of me dyeing this hair, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts on this hair. So I'm just gonna take some gloves and put these on. That's your first step, because as you can see, I got black all over my hands. My last dye job earlier. So the next step is going to be to actually make your bleach mixture. I just took about, I want to say 3 scoops of my BW powder, and then I took a little bit of the 40 volume developer, actually a lot. And I pretty much just whisk it together. It's always good to use a whisk because it works so much better to get all the product mixed together. And you kind of want it to be somewhere between soup and pancake batter. It's up to you. I think this is a little bit looser than pancake batter, but it's not necessarily soup. So I'm happy with this batter. And then I'm also going to take my Ardell drops. This is my first time using this, but this is the Ardell Red and Gold Corrector Plus drops. And I'm just going to take and put a few into that mixture. I added 5 drops. Hopefully that's enough. I also have a timer here, so I'm going to set this to 15 minutes. This hair is long, so I'm going to do it diagonal. And I got a comb to comb it through. Diamond step back. From the tutorial, I pretty much used a 40 volume developer, my BW bleach, to achieve this color. I did make the bleach like a soupy, between a soupy and a pancake battery consistency, if that makes any sense. I started my timer at, I believe it was 15 minutes before I even yeah, I started the timer at 15 minutes, and then I started to apply the hair. I did want it to process much more and become much brighter than this. But for some reason, like, you know how when you're bleaching, and especially if you're new to this, the hair started to look really light, especially at the bottoms. So I thought it was much more lighter than this, and I went ahead and took it out as soon as the timer went off. It basically took me the entire 15 minutes to kind of work the product through the hair. I basically spent the entire time working it from the bottom all the way to here, and then when the buzzer went out, I pretty much went ahead and rinsed it immediately. So if you like this color, that basically is the amount of time you would need for that. For this color, I actually wish I would have taken it all the way up, and it would have looked really, really cute with just like about like this much dark roots, and the rest, this color would have been really, really, really pretty. I might actually even go back and do that to this hair. I do like it as is as well. It's very subtle. If you go to a 9-to-5 job or you're in school, this is very, very subtle. It's pretty and it's bright, but it's subtle at the same time. Like I said, it will look better if you would take it up much higher. But the next time, I think I'm gonna try and do set the timer for the 15 minutes to apply, and then once it is completely applied, maybe set it for another like 10 to 15 minutes so it can process and get a little bit lighter. If you are more experienced with bleaching and dyeing hair, please give me your tips and your tricks down below on how you achieve your browns and your blondes and your honey blondes down below, because I have been obsessed. I've bought like so much. I spent like $150 in Sally's the other day just buying like all the things that I need, like the timer, the big jug of 40 volume developer, and a bunch of craziness. But style, I did 2 French braids along the ends, and then for some reason I just wanted to pin them together like pigtails, and that's how I've been rocking this hair all day pretty much. I thought it was cute, kind of like my Pippi Longstocking situation, but nothing special. I'll show you what the hair looks like from the back. So the hair itself is true to length. My longest is 22. And then 22 usually comes like the lower top half of my behind. And that is exactly where it is. For this wig, I did sew it down to a wig cap. I am going to be doing a tutorial on how I sew my wigs. You guys have seen how I do my hot glue gun method, but I only do that if I'm not going to be like processing the hair or stuff like that. What I did with this unit is I did construct the unit first, as you guys seen in the tutorial, and then I bleached the hair. If you're going to be doing that, do not use the hot glue gun method, because once you get it wet, the glue obviously will become a little bit more loose, and they won't all lift at the same time, but the wig basically won't last as long. So if you guys are interested in how I make my wigs using the sewing method, I will have that up pretty soon, hopefully next week, but don't quote me. But yeah, I don't have any complaints about this hair. Not much shedding, especially for it to be curly, and then not much tangling at all. Oh, I think you'll see it in the video, but when I did bleach the hair, at first I did get a little bit nervous because it seemed like the hair was gonna mat up a little bit. But as soon as I rinsed the bleach out, and then I washed it with the Isoplus shampoo, and then I put a little bit of my Mane and Tail deep conditioner in it, and then it just basically melted the curls like nothing. So nothing, or basically no problems with the tangling, but I did have a little bit of a scare, and I thought it was gonna tangle, but it didn't. So anyways, I hope you guys like the color. Again, leave suggestions on how I should bleach the hair in the future to make it pop just a little bit more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.